Hey guys, welcome to Judge Jodi, Paxton Road's Premier League Player Ratings show. Guys, joining me to break down our win against Nottingham Forest, we've got Kuva back in the building. Kuva, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be back. Been a long time.
It's been, you know what? It's been a year. It's been, no, nearly a year. January, I think
Nearly,
I checked.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so good to have you back. I actually was hoping to have you when we had Chelsea because I had you when we played Chelsea last time, and I was interested to
I'm,
get your
I'm,
views
I'm
on that.
glad. I'm glad we missed that one.
I know, so am I. But thank you for coming back. How are you? How's your weekend been?
Good. Enjoying some last week of the summer holidays with the kids. So having a play
Nice.
around on a few little games and just relaxing a bit. It's been good. It
Very good.
makes the weekend a lot easier when Spurs win, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It really does. It really does. And I know we're going to get into it, but it's yeah, it's I think we spoke about it just before in terms of not the greatest game, but when you get the points on the board, it doesn't really matter, does it? So, what do you?
Well,
What?
it matters a little bit, doesn't it?
It
It's
does.
better than the alternative, that's for sure.
That's right. That's right. And we've only we've pretty much won. We haven't lost a game yet. So let me phrase it that way. We haven't lost a game yet. So, what are you thinking about? Overall thoughts in the game, just sort of high level before we get into the players. What are your thoughts on the game yesterday?
We, I think overall we still look very disjointed. When we attack, it tends to be a reliance on the sort of big names up front.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
some players step up when put under pressure, and some players sort of go missing. Um, the link between midfield and defence definitely needs some work.
Yeah.
You can't really sort of put it down to individual players, but it's sort of a collective inability to pass out from the back very well. We're
Yes.
very slow and lethargic doing it. Lets the opposition get into shape very quickly to defend it. But overall, it was quite a scrappy game.
Mm.
There was some bits of excitement, but the quality of football wasn't all that great for large periods. But as you said, 3 points at the end of the day, so can't
Yep.
be too bad.
Yep, another win, another clean sheet. I think you summed that up very nicely. I think, yeah, I think, like you said, we could have played better. We all saw that. We all know that, especially against a newly promoted team. And no disrespect against Nottingham Forest whatsoever. I think they played really well. They were definitely up for it, weren't they, yesterday? I think they were
Yeah,
showing a lot
yeah,
more passion, I think you could tell, than us. But it's just that finishing ability, really, and the slowness. I think from their side, from their defense wasn't great, but otherwise, like, yeah, I think they were definitely showing that they were up for the fight yesterday.
yeah. I think it looks like Forest have bought very well. It's just going to
Mm,
take them a little bit of time to gel together. But they look
yeah.
like a team that's more than capable of staying up this season, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really excited to see what happens with them, I think. But yeah, I think what we're here for we're here for one thing. We're here for one thing only. And that's to rate the players, Kuva. Just before we get into that, guys, if you're just joining, please like and subscribe to Paxton Road. We really, really appreciate all of the support that you give us, and all that stuff really helps us out. So thank you very much. And with that, what I'm going to do is let's get into the ratings. I want to see what's going down. I think we've got a few little differences there when I was looking earlier. So I'm interested to see your thoughts on that. So as always, starting out with Hugo, a 6 and a 7. So shall I let you go first, Kuv, on this one, or do you want me to go? Do you want me to start?
Sorry, I was just having a bit of a sneeze. You go
Oh,
for it.
bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Oh no, I'm okay now. I'm okay now. Yeah, Hugo. He didn't have a lot to do. It's really
Mm,
difficult to rate a goalkeeper when there's so little for him.
yeah.
Um, they had one shot on target, something like that. There was very few.
Yeah, it wasn't
I
much.
think the only thing then you can rate him on is how well he sort of marshal the back line. Um, was he verbal enough? Difficult to tell, especially when you're watching on TV. And was his footwork any good? And you'd have to say it's pretty average. I didn't see anything wrong with Hugo at all. Nothing that really caught the eye. Quiet day at the office for him, really. So
Yeah.
hence the 6 for me.
Yeah, I think you're fair. I think what one save there as well. But I think I think there were a couple of really brave moves, I thought, from him. I think he came off his line to beat Lingard, and that was. I always get scared when Lloris does that. Don't always have the most confidence in Lloris when he does that, but I think he did really well with that yesterday, making some really brave moves there.
I
I
think
think like
you could compare that with what happened with Henderson, because he did one where he came charging off his line, and he thought he was in trouble with it. Went out a lot wider, he misread it.
yeah.
But it's entertaining when keepers do that. Let's
Yeah.
face it.
So, what's gonna happen? But I mean, I think, like you said, it was very quiet there. I think he was really lucky that Nottingham didn't have, much goal threat really. So, I mean, I've given him a 7. I think I've been a bit unfair to Hugo because of the fact it's been quiet for him in the last few games. I've sort of given him a 6, 6.5. So I'm giving him a 7 just for that. We got the clean sheet and. Yeah, not much more to say.
Yeah,
I think you
I
could
think
probably.
goalkeepers and strikers can be some of the hardest to rate in games,
Mhm.
just because if they don't have a lot to do, what's a
Yeah,
fair mark for them? I
exactly.
mean, you could argue that clean sheet, that's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's fair. It's exactly right. Right. Let's move on then. Let's move on. We don't have much to say about Lloris, but Davinson Sanchez again stepping in for Romero. Again, a 6 and a 7. I'm going to start with this one, if that's all right, Hoover.
Yeah.
I actually think that Sanchez had another good game yesterday. I was really happy with him. I actually thought he was probably the best of the back line. I just feel like I think he was really trying to prove to people that he's got a place in the squad, like with his movements and his kind of his aggression, I guess you could say maybe. I don't know. I do think that he was lacking a bit of decision making in the first half, definitely. But you know what? I just think that 10 clearances, like there was some really nice tackles that I remember as well. I think he had a pretty decent game for Sanchez, and I don't mean that by any any means. Um, but yeah, I think he did all right. So I'm going to give him a 7. What are you going to say?
Yeah, defensively he was pretty reasonable. I thought he read situations quite well. Couple of sort of dodgy moments, but
Yeah.
generally okay. I think where he lets himself down is his distribution. As soon as he's got the ball at his feet, he's not very good, and that for me
Yeah.
just drops him down a little bit. You can see it's such a stark contrast because unfortunately, the first thing you're going to do is think, well, Romero would be playing this role.
Hmm.
They are vastly different. But he did okay. He did okay. It's a sort of solid enough sort of performance from me. Nothing too much to complain about there. Like I said, defensively good. So I'd probably give him a 7 for defensive work.
Yeah.
Probably a 5 for when he's trying to use the ball.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a contrast. He's not the complete ball playing centre back.
Hmm.
Perhaps that's what we always wanted from him, but it's just not there at the moment. So
Yeah.
part of the breakdown when we build attacks from the back, I think.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I don't think we necessarily got what we thought we were going to get when we got him in. So I think that's a fair call. Sean, welcome, Sean. Thank you for being here, buddy. You're saying at 8.5 for Sanchez. Okay, so he really impressed you yesterday, obviously. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think.
It's all
But
a bit
yeah,
subjective as well, isn't it? For example, my marks may be on a lower starting scale to what Sean's
that's
are,
right.
and if you look at somebody like Scott M, the Canadian chap who's
Yeah.
around many of the channels, he's really harsh, but he's consistent with it. So it depends where you start from with some of these ratings. This always makes it a bit of conversation to be had and a bit of discussion.
So I think what Sean's saying, Sanchez made many blocks, cleared headers. He hasn't conceded a goal in 9 hours. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of where I'm coming from in terms of the blocks and stuff and the 9 hours thing. I mean, that's what I'm saying. What I was saying about Sanchez. I think he's definitely stepped it up. Kind of at the back end of last season and the start of this season for us as well. Ellington McDonald, welcome. I have not seen you before. Thank you. Welcome to the show. 8 solid, did all that was asked. 9 hours of clean sheets. Can't argue with that. Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah,
think
defensive work. No argument at all there. He did well.
perfect. Let's move on. We're going to Eric. Eric Dyer. Oh, Kuva. A 4 and a 6. 4 and a 6. You gotta tell me what's going on with this 4. Is this straight from the game?
What did he do?
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of anything he did the entire game. There was a couple of maybe headers in the midfield area where it was a bit of ping pong involved, but other than that, absolutely nothing. He just. I did notice Ben Davies having to bail him out a couple of times with last-ditch tackles, but no, it's just nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're expecting somebody his size and frame to dominate in that penalty area, and he's just not there.
No. I also was struggling with Dier a little bit because I can't really remember what he was doing either when I was trying to think of what he did. I don't think he wasn't involved as much as Sanchez. I was definitely focused more on Sanchez when I was watching that game because he was actually doing quite a lot more. But I think for me, again, the clean sheet thing, I gave him a 6 just because of that. But nothing
You're too kind-hearted.
Nothing of note, particularly for me from Dier either. Guys, in the comments, let us know what you think. Shawnee is saying Dier was porous of our back 3, and I think you gave him a 6.5. So, yeah, definitely. Right, let's move on to Ben Davies. 7. Oh, wow. 7, and I've given him a 6. Go, Kuva, you want to go? You want to go with that 7?
Yeah, standard Ben Davies performance in recent times for me. He was very solid at the back, made some great last-ditch tackles, bailing out the likes of Dier. One in particular, he sort of slid in for the block when just as the shot was coming away and Dier was slow to get to the player. And he got forward well. He supported Perisic on the wing-back role. He got up to the halfway line, took the game to him. He was the most progressive of our defenders, apart from Perisic by a mile. All-round good game, very solid.
And Sean's agreeing, I think, with you on that one with a 7.5. I think he and Dier were struggling with the press. I think both of them were struggling a little bit. I think I don't know. I think he definitely improved in the second half. Again, I do agree with you in the point around helping out Perisic on the left. I think that definitely was notable for Ben. But yeah, I don't know. I guess you're both right in saying that Dier was the worst of the back 3. And I think Sanchez and Davies both had a better day, definitely. So maybe I could bump Davies up a little bit, 6.5. But yeah, I think nothing notable again for me necessarily, other than the fact that he was better than Dier for me.
Yeah, I don't think 6 is an unfair mark. He was solid. 6 is a solid score, I think.
Ellington, you're giving Davies an 8, all-round good game away from home. That's fair. And Sean's saying, spot on, Kuva, Ben did both roles well. Nice. Right, let's move on to Emerson Royal. 4 and 5. Emerson. So I actually thought maybe we'd see a bit more of Spence. I think a lot of people probably might have thought that just because of the Nottingham, kind of, the fact that he played there. I think defensively he knows what he's doing. He just needs more. He gave the ball away, I think, at times. There was that silly challenge really early in the game as well. He was really lucky not to get booked with that, I think. But I just think, nothing going forward with him, and he really needs to improve. He needs to improve in that area massively. I don't know. It's one of those funny ones because before the season started, I always thought that we were going to see Matt Doherty starting, and Emerson's obviously done something, to deserve that starting point. But I don't know. What do you think, Hoover? Because you've given him a 4.
Classic Emerson for me. I'd say it's probably one of his weaker defensive performances as well this time. That's all he's got to his game. Going forward, he offers absolutely nothing. I think he got in like one cross or something, and that was nothing, nowhere near going to anybody. He looks sluggish when he is on the ball, devoid of ideas, doesn't want to take people on. There's just nothing to his game going forward. So it's purely defensive work, and he wasn't good. He was all over the place. Rash decisions. Just a poor game. I'm tempted to even drop him lower. For me, he was the worst player on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Sam, you're giving Emerson a 6. Carl Simpson. Welcome, Carl. Lovely to see you. Emerson was a 9, combining his games all together. So I think you're agreeing with Cuba there.
Yeah, pick up, mate.
No, really, you're saying Emerson a 5 for you. Sean, what you're saying, Royal, typical curate's egg of a performance. 1 great first half cross, but a bit meh. Yeah. Yeah, Ellington, Royal 7, steady game, defended well, good engine. Conte likes his pace and he knits passing well. Sam, he's not a wing back. His attacking play is limited, makes mistakes positionally. Spence should have had more time. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
That is a good, that is a good talking point about Spence, isn't it? Because I think we were led to we got this impression that perhaps he was not going to be in favour at all this season. Some of the remarks Conte came out with, and wasn't it really good to just see him get a few minutes at the end there?
I was hoping that would happen at Nottingham. Yeah, and it did. It was really good, and I think it's definitely given him confidence. I when he came in, I kind of was of the opinion that he might go out on loan, just because I don't know if he's ready, but he's got so much talent, that guy. Like, I just think maybe we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. But it was really,
I think the key bit for me was Conte remarking on the fact that he didn't want to go out on loan. He wanted to just come in and try extra hard to force his way into the team. I think that goes down really well with Conte.
Definitely. And I don't know if you've seen like his social media and stuff, but I think he came out yesterday, just showing appreciation for being able to play yesterday, and I think he really is just really excited to be at Spurs. So yeah, hopefully he does get some more time, and hopefully stays and shows us and shows that he's got a spot on the team. Definitely. Hotspur TV, welcome, Kulusevski. Have you ever been named Kulusevski before?
Yeah,
Kuba?
yeah. Put it a few times. I've changed my name to it. Yeah.
And thank you for being here, Hotspur TV. Sean, what are you saying? Emerson hasn't perfected the pass inside, and when we progress the ball up the field. Hasbo, you're saying Royal 6 did all right, but nothing attacking special. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a theme there from that one. Ellington Spence came on and replaced Kulu. Great sprint speed. Can't wait to see more of him. Yeah, definitely. We didn't. Yeah, I know he came on to replace Kulu, but I think just the fact that we got to see him was definitely great.
Just the fact there's something exciting about his play. We're lacking that from the wing back, that position, definitely. Perisic doing really well on the left. And I think if Spence can offer that attacking play, lightning pace, I think we could be in for quite an interesting time later in the season.
Yeah, definitely. Just when we need it as well, I think, with all these games coming up. Right, let's move on to Perisic. So 6 and a 6.5. I mean, I don't think it was the greatest game for Perisic. We've definitely seen better. I think last week he was definitely much better. But again, I think he's just like such a beast going forward, isn't he? Like we've seen, we know what he's like. I think I did notice a few misplaced passes from him yesterday. I was making sure of that to make note of him yesterday, and I did see a couple of kind of small errors there. But that does happen in games, I guess. I do think he was defending well on the whole, though. But you know what? His crosses, they're just so dangerous, I think, aren't they? I think he's had better games, but 6.5.
You're right about the crosses. It was his cross that led to the penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's just got that quality about him. I agree, though, it wasn't his greatest game. He was quite quiet by his standards. But when you're playing well, even a bad game is adequate to get a win out of everything. And you look at the alternative. Well, we'll come to the alternative a little bit later, I think. But he did okay. He did okay. Quiet by his standards, but quite enough to help the team.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Sean's kind of agreeing 7. I think that's kind of on par with the 6.5. I think everybody kind of saw. I mean, it wasn't the day for everyone yesterday. Let's be honest. Ellington, what you're saying, Perisic didn't look great, looked a bit tired, says to start next game as 6 from me. Yeah, agreeing with Kuva.
Yeah, I think Perisic seems to struggle the longer the game goes on. It's like he hasn't quite got up to that fitness level yet, which would
Yeah,
tie in with why he didn't start in the beginning games as well.
yeah, yeah.
He
He was
did.
coming
He
back
did
from
after all
injury,
miss.
wasn't
He missed that grueling pre-season, didn't he? He missed all
he? Yeah,
the. It's
yeah,
yeah. It all ties in.
yeah, definitely. Perisic struggled with the Forest press, as did many. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. Right, let's move on to Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. 7 and 7. We're agreeing for once. Yay. What do you think? You go. You can go first with this one if you'd like.
I'm not a Hojbjerg fan. I always thought he was too slow to keep up with the play, but I think he did really well. And it was such a scrappy game. He
Mm,
offered some moments of, some of it was a bit off key, but a lot of what he was doing, great tackling, great awareness to get back out with the defence out, made some crucial interceptions in his own area, and he rained out some very good passes as well. I think there was a few that led to shots on goal anyway, and some of the ones that didn't quite come off, they were impressive too. I think he had an all-round really solid game. And for
yeah.
me to say that, I'm even tempted to give him an 8. I'm tempted to give him an 8 because for me, he's a contender for man of the match. It
Yeah,
wasn't the prettiest game, but sometimes you need that
yeah.
warrior sort of spirit, and that is what he's about, isn't it?
He's the kind of player that you can tell, like you just know that if the team are having a tough first half and they get that bitter telling off in the dressing room from Conte, you know he's going to want to come out and like go all guns blazing. I think because he's that kind of guy. I think that would do that for the coach and give it all. Um, I think he was. I think he was giving it his all. I agree. I agree with you,
Much
thousand
much the
percent.
same as Perisic, though, he seemed to have fade away a little bit in the second half.
Mm,
I think perhaps he is starting to get tired out from all the workload.
yeah, yeah. I think there was that. I think you're saying some nice passes. There's that really nice through ball to Kane in the first
Mm,
half, which was
mm.
great. Some really nice blocks from him. I think he was defending really well as well. I think um, that. Do you remember that? I think maybe you were talking about that when there was that shot, that really lovely ball from Kane. I really thought that he should have passed to Son, and he took a shot and it went wide. But yeah, I was a bit annoyed at
That's
that
right.
one.
Other than
But
that, yeah.
yeah, I think he did really well. So what are people saying in the comments? Bobby K, welcome. Thanks for being here, Bobby. An 8 for Peh for me. He was great yesterday. Yeah. Ellington, Peh did okay. Away from home, good presence 7.5. Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement, which is good. Let's move to Rodrigo Bentancur. It's a 5 and a 6. I think he was really putting in a shift yesterday. I think he does struggle a bit with the counter-attacking style of play. I think he prefers to have the ball. I think he does really well. When we've got the ball. I don't think it was his best day, and I think you're probably in agreement with the 5 there. Yeah, I don't think there was the defending wasn't great. Sort of in the second half, I think around the 80th minute, he let the guy cut in. Um, but yeah, I think like I said, I think he was putting in a shift. He always looks really classy on the ball for me. And I do think, he was struggling with that press. But yeah, I think maybe a 5 is a bit more. I don't know. I've given him a 6 just based on the fact that I think he was putting in a shift for us. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said he was struggling with the press.
Yeah,
I think Bentancur will always shine when we get the most of the possession. He's
yeah,
the metronome. He's the sort of Michael Carrick type role.
yeah,
Sets the tempo of the game. Great passer, but when it's such a scrappy game, possessions being lost so easily,
mm,
and being pressed so hard, he doesn't shine. He was I think he was quite poor at times, way off his normal game. Lost possession an awful lot. He put in a shift defensively, put himself about, but you'll see better games for him. I think we're rapidly starting to develop a style that just doesn't suit him.
mm,
He could be struggling in more games this season if we're carrying on persisting with this style. if we're going to get hold of the midfield, perhaps Basuma in to help him out a bit, and he gets
Yeah.
more time on the ball, he'll kick up again. But yeah, it was just it was kind of a, use the word, meh performance.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best we'll see from him by a long way.
No, agree. And Ellington, I think, is agreeing. So Bentancur, Rolls Royce of a midfielder, 100%. Might benefit from rest. Yeah, let's start Basuma again against West Ham. Benty gets a 6.5 from me. Yeah, it could be tiredness. I don't know though. I think I'd like to see Basuma start, definitely. I think the majority of the fan base, I think, probably would like to see a bit of a switch up there. So I guess we'll see what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, we seem to be playing in a style that fits to out and out sort of workhorses, defensively minded.
Yeah.
Pairing at the back there. That's not Bentancur. Bentancur is a passer at base. He's good with some of the defensive work and headers as well. But if he's not on the ball, spraying out the passes, you never see the best of him.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's move. Dejan Kulusevski. Oh, Kuva. What's going on here? Oh my word, a 5.
Oh, this was
Tell me
such a
about it.
difficult one. This one I'm thinking,
I don't know
yeah.
about that.
It was quiet for so much of the game. That was the problem I had with him. When he did shine, he did something really good with it. But I think I'm being a bit harsh with a 5, to be honest. I've got a caveat with this, but saying this is my gut reaction scores straight after the game. So yeah, I think I'll probably bump him up to a 6. He did okay. He just wasn't in the game consistently. There were large phases where he was completely out of it. He did, let's see, the most notable, well, it was pass to Kane for the opener, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So even when he's not at his best, he still offers something. That's a good trait to have.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I thought he played. I mean, I thought he played really well. I think he's been quiet. He was quiet in the game against Chelsea. I think, was it Chelsea? But you know what? I think he started out a lot better, and obviously, as we saw, like getting that assist in the first 5 minutes, I think, of the game, like he looked really, really on it. I think just coming straight out of the gates, like running for it in that first few minutes was great. I agree. I think he did quieten down after that, but you know what? I do think he was showing creativity, even though I think he was quiet. I do think he was probably one of the most creative players for us. And he had 4 shots. I mean, none of them were on target, unfortunately, but he did have 4 shots. So it does show that he is getting up there. I think he just needs to work on that, ability to get those goals on target. I think. There's that nice attempt at goal in the second half, I think, as well. It was a bit too wide, but yeah. I like him as a player, and I do think that I do think he could have probably played a little bit better in terms of a bit more aggression, maybe. But yeah, I think a 7 for me, just because I was pretty impressed with what he was doing.
Yeah, I think he suffers from the same thing that Sonny suffers from, and that's if things aren't coming off or he goes through a quiet phase in the game, you think, oh, he's not doing anything at all. He might be doing a bit of tracking back and things like that, but our expectations are like up here now with him, aren't they? So if he has an average game, you think, oh, he's been rubbish today. Truth would be somewhere in between.
Do you think it might be a case of the fact that, because you know how Conte, obviously, it's a well-drilled team and everybody has to know their place and their place on the field. Maybe it's a case of he's been told certain things, and just in case the ball, goes somewhere else, or if something happens, that he might be out of place or out of play for a certain point of the game potentially. Maybe that's why he's not out looking for the ball and doing sort of more. I don't know.
Could be. I think that for me the most obvious one is he's got Emerson as the Emerson Royal as wing back, who barely gets past the halfway line. So Kulusevski basically has to do it by himself a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's true.
And he does. Well, that's the remarkable, but he quite often does. But yeah, it was for me. It was a very quiet sort of game. It was just sporadic moments when he turned on a bit of class, and then again gets an assist. That's what he does.
That's what he does. Bobby K. Decky was a 6.5 for me. Not much of an impact, but made an effort where he could. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Ellington Pulu 7.5 always showed, but didn't quite have the best pass in the final third, but tried hard. Assisted, came for the goal. Yeah, definitely.
I think
All
I'm
right.
probably being harsh with a 5, but I'm sticking with it because I was harsh with other players as well. So
Yeah, this is you. You're the harsh one in this one, Kiva. All right, Harry Kane, 2 goals. What we saying? 7 and a 7.5. I mean, I'm gonna say I given him a 7.5 because he got the 2 goals. But goals aside, I actually don't think he had the best game really for Kane. Obviously, we saw missed the penalty. I think he was misplacing passes like throughout the game as well. Which is not as on it as we're used to seeing for Kane. He's getting the goals in, but he could be doing way, way, way better. Definitely. I don't know. What do you think? What's the 7 about?
I actually think he did quite well. He was up against 3 centre halves, and he was having a basically battle the whole game just to get anything out of it. He wasn't at his peak, no, but he still got scored a couple of goals. Amazing to see hit such a tame penalty from him because it's usually laser guided bomb that goes in before the keeper. Usually, even if the keeper guesses the right way, they still can't get it. It's that accurate. But it was a poor penalty by his standards, certainly.
Yeah.
But I'll forget that. The all-round performance, I think, it was really hard working. He had his work cut out. I think some of their centre halves were really outstanding.
Yeah, they were.
He suffered with the press as much as anybody else, but I think he stood up to a lot of it. A lot of it was physical, and he stood up to that side of it. I think that gets underrated a lot with Kane. The hold-up play isn't always easy. Sometimes you're in a real fight. He was in that against Forrest, but I think he did okay. Put a couple of goals on top of that. It's what you need from your centre forward. If you're not playing that well, at least get the goals.
Get the goals in. Yeah, definitely. And that's what he's doing. Hotspur, you've given him an 8. Man of the match. Yep, I think he got player of the
possibly.
match. Yeah.
I had man of the match between him and Hojbjerg.
Yeah. I'd probably have to say Kane for me just because of the goals. But yeah, I agree with you. The Hojbjerg shout, definitely. Kane normally hits the corners, but it was a bad penalty, good height for the keeper, and too central. Yeah. Ellington, what you're saying? Kane scored in his last 3 games, 9 for me. Deadly finisher, yeah, definitely. That's why we love you, Kane. All right, let's move on to Son. Oh, Son. A 5 and a 5. Oh man, I don't even know where to start with this one. This could be a whole show in itself, Kuva. Yeah,
Raging debates going on about Sonny, isn't there?
I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are because I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. I think, I don't know. I just think that, look, you see by stats, 26 touches to Kulu's 47. So, that means that he's not getting the opportunities to get the ball. And I don't know if that's, a tactical decision based on, where he's meant to be on the pitch and he's not getting the balls, or is it more of a tiredness, a confidence, whatever you want to call it thing. I don't really know at the moment with Son. Is it, is he tired? Is he flat? He was getting caught offside too often in the game yesterday as well. Like that's, making silly mistakes like that is not really something that we would normally see from Son. But is it all his fault? I don't know. Enlighten me.
I think a lot of it now has become confidence. He is
Yeah.
not the same player that he was. As soon as those goals start going in again, the smile comes back and he'll be the deadly finisher we come to expect. The thing is with Son is even when he's been at his peak, he doesn't always get that involved in the game. He's more the last man forward, sort of, if you like, the playing off the shoulder of the last defender, or with that, beautiful link-up play that we've seen so often with Harry Kane flicking the ball over the top for him. So if that's not arriving, that's out of his game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when you look at the rest of it, he actually did okay. I thought when he was involved, he was doing some decent work. There was a lot of involvement and goal scoring opportunities, but there was very little of it. And he struggled to get himself involved in it. That's why the low score for me. Missing the chances, they'll come when they can't start happening. The marks go up straight away because we're kind of, I think we're kind of judging Sonny on his finishing all the time, which is a bit harsh, but you can't help but do it because that's the trait you see with Sonny. It's the assassin. He's the one that has two chances, takes both.
Yeah.
When that's not happening, you look at the rest of his game. It's okay, but he's quiet. He's not going to sort of get his way into the game through rough and tumble. So if he gets marked out of it and the passes aren't arriving into his path as he'd want them, he's going to struggle a bit. And it's his poor form's a symptom of the way we're playing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Struggle to get the ball to Kane.
That's exactly what I was. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in terms of the tactical nature of the game and just the way that we're playing at the moment. I think I agree with you in that. That's definitely what it is, and I think you're right as well in saying that is a confidence issue. I think because he's not getting those goals in, then every other part of the game potentially is suffering from him. So, yeah, it's a sad one, but he will come back. He'll come good. Ellington, Son. Sorry. No, you go.
I was going to say the other thing to talk about would be his touch, because that's something that gets mentioned so often. And there's people that will look at the stats and say, "Oh, he's doing fine. This all adds up and everything." But when you do look at it and then compare him to other seasons, sometimes his first touch, instead of the one that he used to do, this first touch was so insanely brilliant that his next touch was to stroke the ball home for a goal. This season, he seems that first touch takes him a little bit wider than he might want, or it's just given the defender just a split second to get a block in. It's not quite coming off at the moment, and that's just a form thing. So I'm not worried about it at all, because as soon as that returns to him, the goals will start coming again, and then we will see Sonny of old. I still wouldn't even rule him out for hitting 20 goals again this season.
No, I wouldn't either.
Well capable.
I think he's definitely going to be up there. I think it's just a patch at the moment, and people are allowed to go through them, just not for too long, please. Ellington, what you're saying, Son's 7th year anniversary, hasn't scored this season. I think he needs to come off the bench and use his pace against a tiring defense. Needs to chill out. We bought Richie to rotate. No biggie, a solid 6. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Son isn't making the same runs he used to. Held onto the ball too long at times. He missed his 2 big chances. His back to the wall play isn't good at the moment either. But I think that kind of maybe comes back to that confidence thing. I mean, we don't know. Nobody really can tell, but I think we just have our own opinions and views on what's going on. So thank you very much for that. So we normally don't do subs. I don't tend to do subs, but I did want to do this sub because this guy, again, I think we could all see the game changed up when he came on the pitch. Scored an assist. Richarlison, 6 and a 7. I think for me, he came on for Son in the 73rd minute, I think it was. Definitely made an impact, I think. For me, when he came on, that's what he's there to do. I think that's what you're saying there, Hotspur TV. He came on, he shook things up and shake things up. He did. I was laughing so hard at, when he went down and he was just like holding his leg. Was it his leg or no, it was his crotch, wasn't it? And he was just lying down there for so long, making such, if he wasn't playing for Spurs, I would be like, this guy. And this is what I used to do when he used to play for Everton as well. I couldn't stand him because of it, but he plays for Spurs and I just love it. I think the cross as well to Kane for that, the assist he got was awesome. Great. It was really good. Great. So,
I was very tempted to rank him higher, but I thought, did he really play that well? Or was it just that one great cross and then the rest of it's more sort of an attitude change that spreads throughout the rest of the team? How do you rate that? That's a difficult one for me. So I think he did well. He did well when he came on. No problem at all. Changed the game around a bit. Gave us a bit more bite up front, and and the shithousery is just awesome. That's next level stuff.
It's awesome when it's for Spurs. It's awesome.
It is indeed. Same with Romero, but
yeah,
I probably should bump him up to a 7 just because of the quality of that cross. It was there. Although you could also argue that would never have happened if Forrest hadn't completely switched off then.
Yeah, they had.
Harry Kane unmarked in 5 yards of space on the edge of the 6-yard box is insane.
Yeah, they'd given up completely. Bobby K, 12 Richie, what a little shit. Loved seeing his nonsense on the pitch, and what a cross from the outside of his boot. Yeah, definitely. Ellington, Richie, the new Lamella, shithousery #1. Can't wait to see him in the Champions League. We need those dark arts to win. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I agree with that.
Yeah, why not? Let's go with the hype. There's a 10 out of 10 subs performance.
Right, we haven't given. I'm not brought up any more subs. But what I do have, I think
worth it, is it? Not enough time for him.
Not enough time. But what it is time for, Kuva, is it's time for Crime of the Week. Crime of the Week. Just for people who are new to this show, Crime of the Week is a segment that we have here. Basically, you guys can nominate whatever you think is going to be a crime of the week in the world of Tottenham Hotspur. So it could be on pitch, off pitch activities. Send them through to me. Send me through your nominations. I haven't been getting too many. I'm not feeling the love with the nominations here. So guys, send them through. Let me know what you think crime of the week should be in the world of Tottenham this week. So this week we did have a couple of nominations come through. So the first one is for the refereeing again, and that was for not giving a red card with the penalty. I think that was just inexcusable, really. But I guess what can we expect with the refereeing that we've got in the Premier League right now? And then the other one, unfortunately, I'm so sorry for this, Harry. It's yourself for not getting that penalty. So we're really scraping the barrel with the nominations. So guys, really send them through. But what are you thinking about those two, Kuva? Or do you have another nomination that you'd like to give in terms of anything that's happened this week in terms of Tottenham?
No, it's a sort of bigger issue with me. The fact that we're still waiting for Doherty to get fully fit. Perhaps that's why he's not playing. And then we're looking at Jed Spence coming on at the end, but we're still looking at Emerson starting the game. For me, that's a crime.
Yeah,
I agree with the refereeing. Refereeing, it's strange that VAR coming in, the referees seem to be getting worse somehow, don't they?
Yeah,
it's really odd that. Perhaps they're relying on it too much now.
Yeah, I just think even when we've got VAR, it's just all a bit dodgy, I think, in my eyes. All of it. Some of those decisions with VAR and bringing and the decision when they use it and when they don't use it, and it's just it's not.
I mean, VAR used to be so good when it was us playing away at City and things in the Champions League and stuff like that. When it went in our favour, brilliant. Ever since then, it's been horrendous.
Yeah.
I think it slows down the game. Yeah, VAR, shove that in as the crime of the week.
I will.
Yeah.
VAR, you're getting locked up, buddy. Sorry. Sorry, but Bobby K, you've got a nomination for me. Late nomination coming in. Crime of the week is the limited time Richie gets and should have come on at halftime based on Sonny's first half. Yeah, I mean, it's one of. What do you think if we were to see Richarlison start over Son, for example, or will that ever happen? It's going to be the same situation, right? Because I just don't think Richarlison's going to have to play the same tactical game as what Son's playing. So I don't know.
I've got absolutely no problem with either scenario, because for me, I've been saying this on a few shows lately as well. It's all about the training field. When Conte sees what he wants to see on the training field, who looks the sharpest, who looks to be in form, he'll pick the team to win it. And if it's Richarlison to come in for a game, Sonny will be unhappy about it. I'd expect him to be. I'd expect any player to be unhappy about missing out on a game. But if he comes in, plays the first half, plays an hour, Sonny comes on half an hour to go, stretcher, tiring team, could work out well. I mean, we can even be in scenarios where we can drop Kane occasionally.
Yeah, well, will that ever happen?
Well, that's the idea with Richarlison being around, isn't it?
Yeah.
He can at least offer that sort of target man role. That's the reason Kane's played so many games in a row. It's just we haven't had somebody that could do that.
Yeah, but will it happen? Is what I'm thinking. Knowing Harry Kane, you know what he's like. Is he actually gonna not start a game? I guess with all these games coming in, he's gonna have to, right? Because he's gonna get. I'm not even gonna say what's gonna happen to him if he doesn't, because I don't want to put that out there. But
I think there's going to be enough in the team with the likes of Richarlison, Sonny, Kulusevski up front to cope without Harry Kane for a week or two.
I would hope so. I don't know if Harry's going to be too happy about it, but Harry, you
Or
gotta buckle up.
Kulusevski. It could be any of them. That's the point. It's rotation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's no need to force anything. Just let it happen organically. There's going to be a player that's a bit tired one week, perhaps has a bit of a strain, or protect them because they've taken a knock, and the other will come in. I'm not fussed about it at all. None of them give me any sort of sleepless nights thinking about, oh my God, they're going to be starting.
What about Emerson?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the forwards. Has saying, I can't remember the week, Emerson at right wing back. Yep. Ellington, crime of the week. Conte needs to rotate teams. We'll know exactly who's going to play. Rotation. Yep. I think that's.
Yeah, I think it was just, like I was saying, I think it was just going to happen naturally. I don't think I have to worry about it. It's players will get tired. Conte will change it up when he needs to.
Definitely agree with that. So games are going to start coming in thick and fast now, Kuva. We've got West Ham Wednesday night. We've got Fulham Saturday, I think. And then our first Champions League game on following Wednesday, I think the 7th of September. We're already in September.
So I remember rightly, all of our Champions League games get played before the World Cup. All of the group stage.
Yeah, games. I think they do. Yeah, 6 of them.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be. The fixtures are just insane.
And we're worrying about Richarlison coming in for Sonny. We're going to have to rotate them at some point.
It's going to have to. I know. What are your thoughts on the influx? I know we spoke a bit before we went on air about too much football. But what are you excited? What are your thoughts on kind of like the next couple of months leading up to the World Cup and everything?
I couldn't care less about the World Cup. I honestly couldn't. I used to love it. Some of my favourite memories, like '86 World Cup, 1990 Italia World Cup, was brilliant. With Gaza in tears and everything, and it was just so iconic. There's been other World Cups been great as well, but it feels just like there's saturation of football. There's no anticipation now. We're bombarded with football every day of the week.
Yeah.
International football's got the same now. All of FIFA, UEFA seem to be competing with each other, so who can get the biggest slice of the pie.
Yeah.
Premier League doing it, Super League, that's not gone away. We kind of lose the sense of occasion, don't we? For me, though, Champions League brings that sense of occasion back a bit. Mm-hmm. It's something about those nights. It's something about that music.
I was going to say the music. Gives you chills down your spine. Yeah, I am really looking forward to Champions League. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. So, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
I'm kind of torn between the draw we got as well, because although people will be saying, "Oh yeah, it's been a kind draw, we should be able to progress from there," does that mean they think we're going to win it? Because if we're not going to win it, it's also nice to play some of the big boys in the group stage as well. I would love to have got Barcelona. Would have been
just get them out of the way.
Barcelona both beatable and a big team. That would have been fantastic.
I just think let's snip through and let's get to the finals and let's take it out and let's win it. We need a trophy. Come on, let's get it.
There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, all the way. The quad is on.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I'm not going to say we can win the league. I've always said that at this current point in time, but I think the Champions League, we could have a slice of that pie. We could do it. We could sneak in there.
Another thing, keep maintaining this season. We're the underdogs. The whole point is nobody does expect the underdog to win it. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Do you think we're going to see, obviously, the transfer roundup transfers are coming to a close this week, tomorrow, Thursday, the 1st. When's the 1st? In a couple of days' time, Thursday. What are your thoughts on any more incomings? Do you think we're going to see anyone now that obviously you've got Winks and Region, I think, is out. Got Ndombele out now. What were
No,
you
I
saying?
think we're done with any sort of major transfers.
Hmm.
I'm expecting to see, those ones for the future. Maybe a couple of them, one or two youngsters coming in. Other than that, minor loan deals going out, perhaps finding some experience for some of the youngsters. That's about it. I don't see anything happening.
So what you're saying, we're not going to get that last minute transfer deadline day,
Nah.
amazing centre back.
It would What that would require is to break the operating procedure of ENIC for the last 20 years. We don't
Yeah,
go and put
it's not
ourselves
what
into
we
the
do,
red
is
on a
it?
window.
It's not what we
So
do. Yeah.
yeah, all of that 150 million that was taken out, that's purely the sort of cash influx to give us the equivalent of spending at the beginning of the window and then paying it back at the end. It's a little bit of flexibility. It's like putting something on the credit card for the month. I think we're done with the any big names, which guts me, to be honest. But
I know.
it is what it is. Hopefully, Jed Spence can turn things around.
Hmm.
If he can really push his way into the team, we could be laughing anyway. But I think the centre back issue is going to bite us
Yeah,
at
that's
some point.
one. It's a big one for me. Do we know when Ramirez due back? Is it do
There's
we
a
know?
minor sort of knock,
Yeah, it
so
should be soon. But even then, we needed two more. And yeah, I'm not entirely happy about the situation in the defense at all. Definitely, like you were saying earlier, I think, yeah, that's definitely our biggest weakness. I think, other than right wing back, I think the defense definitely, like in the back line, we need more centre backs in. Like we were playing Nottingham Forest, and like no disrespect to Nottingham Forest, but if we were playing teams that actually could come in and put up more of a threat, I think we would definitely struggle if we played like we played yesterday. So
but three teams in a row, wasn't it? That if they had a cutting edge up front, if they had a Harry Kane, for example, we would
yes,
have lost those games.
well, all of our games that we've played, I think, the start of the season haven't really had it. They don't really have a striker. Wolves, Chelsea, Southampton, and Nottingham Forest. I don't think they're all lacking. They're all lacking at the front there. They're all lacking attacking danger at the front. So, yeah, it's going to be scary. But anyway,
Actually,
Kiva, thank you for coming on.
I'll take it back. I don't think we would have lost against Forest, but it would have been a lot closer game for sure.
Yeah.
Perhaps a 2-2 or something. Yeah.
Oh dear. Just a shout out to who we have in the comments this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So we got Sean Hurl, Paxton's own. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you here, buddy. Variable. Oh, it's a Hammers fan. Hi. Thanks for being here. Variable WHU. TTID podcast. How you doing? Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for checking us out. Shawnee again. We had Ellington McDonald. Thank you, Ellington, for all your comments and everything this evening. Lovely to see you here. We had Sam Spurs for life. Thank you, Sam, for being here. We love to see you here representing. When I have to get you back on the show soon. Haven't seen you for a while, Sam. Carl Simpson. We had Hotspur TV. Thank you so much for all your comments and everything. Hotspur, it's been great. Bobby K. Bobby K in the house. We have lots of you, lots and lots of you. Thank you, guys. Dino Dinosaur. Oh, welcome back. um, right. So, Kuva, is there anything that you want to promote or plug, or any shows you got coming up? Can you tell all the viewers where they can find you, all that good stuff?
Well, the usual haunt for me would be the likes of Shellside Spurs or Bob Spur TV. Also do a Sunday segment now with Bobby K from Three Spurs Boys. We do that sort of 10:30 UK time. Just a little, very sort of a casual 1 hour sort of roundup of everything that's happened in the week, but try and keep it light-hearted. and away from tactics and just go for the fun stuff. Pointing out bloopers or something like that seems to be our aim. This kind of pointing out worst plays of the week and things like that. Yeah, so that I'm generally dotted around all the channels.
Oh, Cuba.
Big up to people like Sava, Tottenham away, Henry Wright, Irish Hotspur. I'll be on. Oh yes, that's going to be the next one. Probably for me will be Irish Hotspur on the Wednesday, just doing the pre-match pump up, and I think possibly doing some match reaction or something like that afterwards as well.
Oh, you're getting around all over the place. And we love having you here on Paxton, Cuba. We love having you here. We'll have to get you
Pleasure
back.
to be.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And guys, go check out all of the channels that Cuba's mentioned. They're all doing great stuff. And also everything that Cuba's doing. Check it out as well. But I think that's going to do us for today, guys. You can find me on Twitter at Spursy141. We've got quite a big week, I think, in terms of Paxton shows. So normally we would have, it's Monday today. I'm getting confused. Normally my show's on a Sunday, but I've moved to Monday for this week only. I'll be back next Sunday after the double game. I think we're going to have a double rating show next Sunday. And then we've got Talking Points tomorrow night, I believe. So check that out with Sam and Sid and Mike and Sean and all the guys. Then we've got the preview show, the review show for all of the games coming up. We've got Deji as well, who's doing the reviews, doing such a great job. Big up to Deji.
I always say big up to Deji because of last season when he predicted Arsenal to go on a 3-game losing streak. What a shout out that was. So I'll always remember that.
The guy knows. In Deji we trust. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do us for this evening. Thank you again, everybody, so much for being here. We love having you guys. We love all of you and all your support and everything like that. Please chuck a like if you like the show. Even if you didn't, please chuck a like. We love that. We love all of the things that you do. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I guess all I have to say is come on, you Spurs.